Hello and welcome to EUTV Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from Evangel University and around the region. I'm Cadence Washam.
We'll also look at college games across the nation and check out the latest happenings in professional sports. I'm Nathan Amati, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. That NFL Super Bowl, right?
It was so good to watch. And it was a really good game for both teams. It was really well played.
Really well put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really cool getting to see all that put together. It was the scoring was great. Both teams did a really good job of scoring, but the Chiefs ultimately won.
Yeah, and then our EU women's basketball team had an overtime game. They destroyed the Grandview, so it was amazing on both sides, on both teams.
Yes, yes. Evangel and Grandview went head-to-head on Evangel course this last Saturday. During the first half, Evangel had an astounding 39 points, which surpassed Grandview's 27 points. In the second half, Evangel maintained their lead and successfully secured another victory. Markway Alvarado scored 17 points for Evangel throughout the game. The final score was 75 for Evangel and 62 points for Grandview. Thanks to the leadership of Coach Bert Chappell, Evangel has now won 20 straight games in a row.
At the last home game of the regular season and senior day, the Evangel women's basketball team made sure to finish with a win. Evangel faced Grandview in overtime on Saturday. Evangel previously fell earlier this season against Grandview 54-38. Going into the fourth quarter, Grandview led 55-54. Micah Clayton, just like their game previously against Culver Stockton, had another three-point play to put the Valor into overtime with Grandview. And in overtime, the Valor had a dominant offense and took the win. Lexi Berry led the team with 16 points. The team is now fifth place heading to their last two games of the regular season. On Saturday, the women's tennis team hosted their first match of the regular season against Missouri Valley at the Cooper's Tennis Complex, having a perfect weekend. In doubles, Evangel won 2 out of 3 matches. Rachel and Abigail Cheney, the sisters' doubles partners, defeated Missouri Valley 6-0. Maddie Peters won her single match, locking in the 4th Valor win for the weekend for singles, having 4, and Missouri Valley having 3. The Valor had many key players and takeaways from this meet, setting them up for a great season ahead of them. The men's tennis team also competed and had some stiff competition, but fell short this weekend. Both men's and women's tennis team will be back on the court and will face UHSP this Saturday at home.
This last Saturday, Evangel's track team completed in the Indoor Gorilla Classic, hosted by Pitt State University. After completing the 60-meter hurdle in a little under 8.5 seconds, Liam Boyven is now qualified to run in the NAIA National Championship. And that's not all. Macy Kopp broke Evangel's 600-yard record with a time of 1 minute and 32 seconds. Evangel's 4x400 team also broke Evangel's school record with a time of 4 minutes and 16 seconds. Congratulations, Evangel.
Yeah, so we had some great turnout from Evangel Sports this weekend. Some great wins overall, and we had some losses, but overall we had some great time.
Yeah, and just to hear about the different teams getting to break different records within the track and field is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Coming up next, I'll be here with Evangel's basketball player, Logan Rogers.
And later we'll look at the NFL Super Bowl winning and some bigger games from around the sports world. We'll be right back.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected. Get help.
But it would be safe to keep your distance until a secret that makes you smile.
Reliable sources say that chicken soup has has found their way out of this dangerous, but it would be safe until they are returned.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Reach out, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Welcome back. I'm here with Evangel's men's basketball athlete, Logan Rogers. Logan, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, could you give us a brief summary of what this season has been so far?
Yeah, so this season we have accomplished a lot, especially last season. We were kind of the underdogs a little bit, and this year we just came out and we kind of played like we should and we know how. We played like we own it. We've had some learning lessons along the way, but we got it straightened out, and now we're just hoping to go back to the conference championship and then head to the national championship after that.
Awesome. And then what are your personal favorite highlights from this past season?
So this year we had Autry Accord break the all-time stealing record. And then also just Josh Pritchett, he always somehow makes a cool play some way, rather it be dunking on someone or just like hitting a big shot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then are there any games this upcoming season for the rest of the remainder that you're looking forward to?
Probably just conference play and then seeing where we end up in the national tournament.
Yeah. And then with the tournament coming up, does your practices change? Does prep change at all?
Not necessarily. We normally just lock in. We take it team by team. But yeah, that's about it.
And then have you and your team experienced any challenges this year that may have affected y'all?
So we faced a little bit of injury. One with Bryce Hunt, another with Autry's head. At one point, we weren't sure what's going to go on there. But other than that, we haven't really faced a whole ton. The team's like one big family.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about the team. We truthfully hold each other accountable as much as possible. We have fantastic coaches. But yeah.
Yeah. And then as a player, what aspect of the game to you is harder to practice than others?
I think it's more mental than anything. If your mind's not there, if you're thinking about something else during practice or during the game, it's really hard to just stay locked in the entire time. But yeah, mostly just mental.
Yeah. And what kind of goals personally do you have for the remainder of the basketball season?
Personally, just to be the best teammate and best player I possibly can. Push other guys. Always be the energy.
Yeah. And then every team has goals. So what is your team's goal for the rest of the season?
I mean, pretty sure it's every team in the national or on the national level to win the national championship. So that's ultimately our goal. But short term, it's conference championship, come back with a W, and then after that, it's the national tournament and getting that championship. So yeah.
So yeah, what made you start playing basketball?
Truthfully, I started playing when I was like 4.
Yeah.
And then I gradually just fell in love with it. And so it just was one of those things. I started playing more my sophomore year, really got into it. Yeah.
So Logan, tell us why you chose Evangel and how did you get here?
So I chose Evangel for a couple reasons. The first reason being my cousin Danny came here in like the 1980s or something. He said it was a great atmosphere. He knew a lot of people, so he just kind of worked his magic a little bit to get me here. For the second reason, for basketball, it was one of my best choices, if not the best choice for me personally. It was a Christian college. I was raised in the church, and so I just needed to find a good home, home that was temporary, but also I can make a lot of new friends and meet a lot of new people. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and so on the basketball team here at Evangel, tell me about the connections that you've made and some of them being lifelong friends.
So some of my best friends right now are probably Manrique Alvarado. He's our point guard. And then Josh Pritchett, Jace Coffey, Garrett DeVault, Hudson Light. I could keep going down the list, but I'm super close with all the guys on the team. Like I said, we all are just like one big family, truthfully. Man, they have all had some sort of impact on me, even the freshman Garrett DeVault. We click. Like this team, there's no real outsider of like, all of us are doing one thing, the other doing another. Like we're all in it together. We're all always communicating, checking up on each other, sending each other things, just like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that. The basketball team isn't just a team, but a family.
Yeah.
And that's really what Evangel does
Yeah.
go for, is a community, and it's amazing to see how it is a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. Thank you for being with us, Logan. Coming up, we'll be looking at the NFL Super Bowl champions and the latest in college basketball and the UFC. Stay tuned.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give. Advocate.
Volunteer. Live United. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help,
but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
This last Sunday was a very exciting game against the Purdue Boilermakers versus the Northwestern Wildcats. The first half of the game started out competitively as Purdue fought to keep ahead of the Northwestern. By the end of the first quarter, Purdue had a 7-point lead. In the second half of the game, through the 3 points and free throws, Northwestern was able to bridge the gap and grasp a hold of victory. Ending with a 6-point lead, Northwestern bested Purdue with a score of 64-58.
A couple of hours before the Super Bowl started, two undefeated and top-ranked women's basketball teams faced off to see who will be atop the SEC. Number 1 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks played on the road against number 3 LSU Tigers in what should have been a great matchup. These two teams were the only two remaining undefeated teams in all of college basketball. But after Sunday, it was obvious that South Carolina is just so dominant. LSU's coach, Kim McCulkey, who has won multiple titles in her career with Baylor, praised the Gamecocks, saying that they are clearly the top team. The Gamecocks led by 10 at the break and didn't look back, winning 88-64 in dominant fashion. LSU had the top scorer of the game with Alexis Morris scoring 23, but South Carolina won a balanced attack as 4 players scored 10 or more points, led by Camila Cordoso. This is the only time these two teams will play this season unless they get a rematch in the SEC tournament. On a beautiful Sunday evening in Glendale, Arizona, the Kansas City Chiefs took on the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 57. The biggest game of the season definitely lived up to its hype. The Eagles controlled the first half of the game behind quarterback Jalen Hurts, who ran for 2 touchdowns and threw for 1. And with Jake Elliott field goal, as time expired, the Eagles went into halftime up 24-14. But the Chiefs, known for their late game heroics, scored 17 of their 24 second half points in the fourth quarter. After seemingly re-injuring his ankle earlier in the game, Patrick Mahomes played a near-perfect second half to bring the Chiefs tied 35-35 with 5 minutes left. But after a controversial holding call on Eagles cornerback James Bradbury on 3rd down, it gave the Chiefs a first down and allowed them to score without the Eagles getting a chance to win. The Chiefs win 38-35, marking their second Super Bowl win in 4 years.
Russian lightweight champion Islam Makhachev and Australian Alexander Volkanovski battled toe-to-toe at the UFC at the UFC 248 this last Saturday in Perth, Australia. With injuries dealt to both sides, each round was played out spectacularly. It was a close call in the first 3 rounds, but Islam bested Alexander with 2 out of the 3 rounds. In the final 2 rounds, both men gave it their all, to which Islam defeated Alexander in one of those rounds. This victory caused Islam to continue as the lightweight champion of the UFC.
Yeah, so what do you think about the Super Bowl?
Man, talk about just a really crazy game.
Yeah.
You know, one team is winning, and the other team gets like a field goal, and like another team misses a field goal. It was crazy.
Yeah, and then Patrick Mahomes with the ankle injury that caused him, that everyone didn't think he'd be able to recover from, but they actually won the Super Bowl, which is amazing.
Yeah, it was a very interesting and just amazing game. I loved it.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll have the EUTV Player of the Week.
We'll also have upcoming Evangel games this week. We'll be right back.
RBIs and 36 homers. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it deep back into the stands.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
It's no fairy tale that the right fit means everything, especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose one that's the right fit for your child's age and size.
That does make a difference.
To find out more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future. That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. He needs something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me to King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you were really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
It's now time for the EUTV Sports Player of the Week.
This week's EUTV Sports Player of the Week is Liam Boyven. Boyven had a national qualifying run for the Evangel's men's track team. Boyven ran just over 8 seconds in the 60-meter hurdle race. This time was enough to qualify Boyven for the NAIA Indoor National Championship. Liam will continue his junior season campaign when he competes in said championship at the National Championship Tournament in late February. Congratulations to Liam for being EUTV Player of the Week.
And now let's go to the upcoming games of the week. First, we're looking at track and field happening February 17th on Friday. We're going to have a game in Northwest Missouri State.
And then for baseball, they'll play Friday, February 17th in Joplin, Missouri, and they'll also play Saturday in Joplin also.
And then for men's tennis, we're going to be having a game February 18th on Saturday happening at the UHSP.
And then for women's tennis, they'll play Saturday, February 18th at 1 at Cooper Tennis Complex against UHSP.
And then for men's basketball, we have 2 games, one on Thursday and one on Saturday, both happening, one happening in Kansas City and the other one happening in Iowa.
And then for women's basketball, they'll play Thursday, February 16th against Kansas, and then Saturday, February 18th against Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Go Evangel Valor.
So just some of the games that are coming up that I'm super excited for are like the tennis teams and stuff like that. We have some room to improve, and I'm really excited to see how we show up and show out.
Yeah, and they're at home, so we all have the opportunity to watch them. They're just right here in Springtown, so awesome.
Yes, and I'm also really looking forward to the basketball as well. Yes. Awesome. Well, that's all the time that we have for today for Sports Update. I'm Nathan Amati.
And I'm Cadence Washam. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.